So yesterday I read a little bit from the timeline. Most of what I was reading was from the timeline yesterday. So at this point in the story, first of all, what's important is that now y'all can kind of see how everything worked, right? That the Anunnaki, was in power. The Anunnaki genetically created these humans. They raised these humans, taught these humans. After the Great Flood, they had to reseed these humans, right? And then the humans populated again. And so then they had to, put the humans in cities, right? They had to civilize the humans. Y'all see it, right? Once the humans were civilized and able to kind of do things for self, the Anunnaki started to try to kind of back off a little bit, but they were still controlling everything, right? Still, so, because listen, he who controls the king controls the civilization. Do y'all understand that? Put a 1 in the chat if you understand that. He who controls the king controls the civilization. So everything that was taking place was happening at the behest of Anunnaki. All your biblical wars, the wars you read about in the Bible, the Battle of Jericho and whatever other biblical battles you read about, these were all battles that were facilitated by the Anunnaki, right? And that's what we try to tell everybody, that's who that is in the Bible. When Moses go up on Mount Sinai, that's, you know what I mean? That's he getting it from the Anunnaki. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, you kind of see that they the power behind the power, that they controlling all of this stuff, they facilitating it. You also getting to see that all of these great civilizations, all the ancient historic civilizations, they were all connected in some way, one way or other. Okay? So we got to, first we are into the Babylonian civilization and all the cities of the Babylonian civilization. Then we went into the Egyptian civilization, all of the great cities of the Egyptian civilization. Now we into the Akkadian civilization. We just covered the Akkadian civilization yesterday. That's when Naram Sin let Inanna force him to, not force him, but told him it was okay to invade Marduk's land, but he ended up crossing over the Forbidden Land, okay? And that got Naram Sin killed, and that is what ended up being the death of the Akkadian civilization, okay? That's why we don't hear much about the Akkadians as much as we hear about these other civilizations, right? The Egyptian civilization is still around. The Indus Valley civilization is still around. But the Akkadian civilization is not around no more. And now we know why. Enlil brought that motherfucker to an end, right? Because like I say, Naram Sin went against his decree of crossing over into the Forbidden Land. All right. We also saw Ra trying to force his rulership of Earth, right? He felt like he should be the god of the Earth. Basically, Enlil holds that position. Y'all, that's another thing y'all need to see right now. So y'all know that Enlil's got the rank of 50, okay? So we all understand that there's no one on the earth at that time that outranks Enlil. Put a 1 in the chat if you understand that. Enlil holds the rank of 50. The only person that overranks him is Anu. And Anu holds his rank from Nibiru. So the king of earth, the god of earth, was Enlil. The same person who was the ruler of the Eden, okay? So he was the so-called God in the Garden of Eden as well, okay? I need y'all to understand that the Hebrew Bible, the Hebrew religion was established before Christianity. I need y'all to understand that, okay? Christianity was not first. That's the part of the brainwashing that's got people tripped up out here. But the Christian religion formed after the Hebrew, okay? So the Hebrew Bible was first before the Christian Bible. And the Hebrew Bible and the Christian Bible is basically similar. The Christian Bible was built off of the Hebrew Bible, okay? So you need to understand that, Ra wanting to be this premature god of earth or whatever, this is what facilitated the Christianity being on the forefront, okay? Because like I say, that's his, that's his religion, okay? But you start to see all of this stuff, okay? So now we at the end. We at the end of this information. And what we're about to see now is we are encroaching upon the third pyramid war. You've seen two other pyramid wars. You saw the first pyramid war that was between Horus and Seth. Okay? When after Seth had Osiris killed and Horus avenged Seth. So that was the first pyramid war. Then you got a chance to see the second pyramid war was Inanna versus Marduk, right? When Marduk ran his ass up in the pyramids and locked it up like a little girl, right? So that was the second pyramid war. Now, we're getting ready to encroach upon the third pyramid war. The third pyramid war is something that basically changed the landscape. It changed the entire landscape of what we call the first and the second region. In the third region. First, second, and third. And the reason it changed the landscape because nuclear war. It was nuclear weapons used in the third pyramid war. Yeah, you heard me right. Let me say that again. This third pyramid war that we're getting ready to deal with, the Anunnaki unleashed nukes. No, real. Not some other kind of technology that we're saying was nukes. No, actual nukes. Actual nukes. The same kind of nukes that we got now. They had the motherfuckers then. And they used them. And I want y'all to know that this is not cap. There's no cap in my rap. Okay? If you want to know about nuclear war that took place on this planet 5,000 years ago, look up the site of Mohenjo-Daro. All you got to do is do your research. Look up the civilization of Mohenjo-Daro in the Indus Valley region. Okay, that was Inanna's region. Because y'all got to remember, Inanna, she got a whole region that's over here right next to the first region. So when the war jumped off, when they dropped that nuke, that wind went over into her region. And it killed a lot of people there. But what's significant about Mohenjo-Daro, guys, is Mohenjo-Daro is have all the evidence of this nuclear explosion. And this evidence is the people were flash frozen, right? Basically, they died like instantly, right? So a lot of them died right in the middle of the street. And to this day, these people are still fossilized in these streets in Mohenjo-Daro. Their bodies are fossilized. You got some of the people holding hands. I'm going to show you a picture of it. How about that? I'll show you a picture. All right, here we go. Check this out. Evidence of a nuclear explosion in Mohenjo-Daro. Look at these bodies, gang. These are the fossilized bodies. And how do we know that this was a nuke? Well, that's a special signature that nuclear weapons leave. When you have a nuclear explosion, the heat is so hot that it'll take sand, it'll heat up the soil, it'll heat up the sand so much that whatever's around would turn into like this crystallized substance that they call trinite. It's like glass, right? And that's what these bodies are basically fossilized in. They basically like glass. And look at them. You got people holding hands down here. You know what I'm saying? You got a little child right here. You got, they was still to this day, this is like this. And it's highly radioactive. That's all. Also, we know that too, is because the site is highly radioactive. Okay? So yeah, that's why I be telling folks, I be like, bro, stop letting these people, go ahead, my love. That's why I be telling these folks, stop letting these people play on your top, man. Trying to make it like, oh, I wonder what took place this many thousands of years ago. How did the primitive people have this? And how did they have that? Bullshit. You know what took place. And you know damn well the primitive people ain't had this. The primitive people had to live amongst this. But they didn't have this weaponry. We know who had it. And we know who used it. Okay? So we're getting ready to come upon the third pyramid war. The third pyramid war is a war of basically the Hebrew God versus the Christian God. Yeah. The Hebrew God versus the Christian God. That's Pyramid War 3. All right. Let's start walking that way. Equity in the lands. Hold on. Let me make sure y'all understand something too. So right now, kingship has shifted amongst the first region. Anu decided after Naram Sin was killed by Enlil, Anu decided to give the first region to Nanar. Y'all remember we talked about that yesterday? Nanar being Enlil's son. Nanar being Enlil's son, him taking over the rulership of the first region. That way a full-blood Anunnaki has control. And so this is where we start today with Nanar taking over the first region, all right? Equity in the lands Ur-Nammu established. To violence and strife an end he made. In all the lands, prosperity was abundant. It was at that time, in the nighttime, Enlil had a dream vision. Okay, y'all remember the last time somebody had a dream vision, Galzu visited them. Okay? The image of a man appeared to him, bright and shining like the heavens he was. Here he come. As he approached by Enlil's bed, Enlil, the white-haired Galzu, recognized. Okay? The emissary Galzu is making another visit, and this time Enlil recognizes him. In his left hand, a tablet of lapis lazuli he was holding. The starry on it were designed. By the 12 constellation signs were the heavens divided. To them, with his left hand, Galzu pointed. From the bull to the ram, Galzu, his pointing shifted. 3 times the pointing he repeated. Then in the dream vision, Galzu spoke up to Enlil and thus said, the righteous time of benevolence and peace by evil doing and bloodshed will be followed. In the 3 celestial portions, the ram of Marduk, the bull of Enlil will replace. One who himself as supreme God has declared supremacy on earth will seize. A calamity as never before occurred by fate decree will happen. So this is Galzu telling Enlil what's about to happen. Basically telling him the future. Okay? So Galzu is basically telling Enlil that your time is ending. and that the time of the ram is about to begin, and that in this time, Marduk is going to seize control, right? So, you know, he's basically telling Enlil this stuff, and Enlil is going to try to prevent it from happening, okay? But everything is going to happen the way it's supposed to happen. Because like I told y'all, no matter how crazy y'all think this world is, all this shit, everything is happening the way it's supposed to happen. All right? So here we go. This is Galzu warning Enlil. At the time of the deluge, a righteous and worthy man must be chosen. By him and his seed will civilized mankind, as by the creator of all intended, be preserved. So did Galzu, the divine emissary to Enlil in the dream vision, say. When Enlil from the nighttime dream vision awakened, there was no tablet beside his bed. He wondered, was it an oracle from heaven, or did he all imagine? Enlil to himself wondered. To none of his sons, Nanar among them, nor to Enlil did he of the dream vision tell. Okay, so he decided to keep it to himself. He decided to say, hey, I ain't going to tell nobody about this visit I just had from Galzu. Okay. Among the priests in the Nubruki temple, Enlil of celestial savants inquired. Tira, an oracle priest, to him the high priest indicated. Okay, so one of the high priests in his temple, in his abode, was named Tira. All right. If you're still taking notes, write that name down. One of the most important names you can write down. Okay. Tira was one of the high priests in Enlil's temple, his abode. Okay. Of Ebru, of Arbach, the grandson, he was descended. 6th generation of Nubruki priests he was. With the royal daughters of Urim's kings, they were intermarried. Get yourself to Nanar's temple in Urim. The heavens for the celestial time observe. 72 earth years is the count of a celestial portion. The passage of 3 carefully record. 72 years is the time of a celestial portion. Okay? So 3 celestial portions is the measurement before Marduk's time it begins. Okay? So basically 72 times 3 is what? Off the top of my head, what is that? 72 times 3. What is that, 216 years or something like that? Or let me see. Yeah, 216 years. So from right now, that's basically what T-Rod just told, that it's going to be 216 years before this period is over. You got 216 years, which ain't nothing to an Anunnaki. So did Enlil to Tiru the priest say, the prophesied time he made him count. So he wanted T-Rod to keep up with this prophesied time, okay? While Enlil, the dream vision in its portents pondered, Marduk from land to land went. And you go, remember I told you, went to and fro? He going from land to land. So you know he doing something in these lands, guys. Okay? Now I want y'all to know something. I tried to explain to y'all that we hominids, the hominid form was before the human form. So that was a time where hominids spread all around this planet. It was hominids in Africa. It was hominids in Africa. It was hominids in Europe. Okay? It was hominids everywhere. Okay? The Anunnaki landed in Africa. So the hominids that they genetically altered was the ones in Africa at first. Okay? Nobody else. Just us. And we was with them for a long time before they started to move around and do other things. It was at times like this, when Marduk is going from land to land, that these Anunnaki discovered the Neanderthals. The Neanderthal was just as primitive as the hominid. Okay? So when they found the pale skins, they were already Neanderthal. They upgraded the Neanderthal into what they call Cro-Magnon. That's the wild man. He was a little bit more civilized than the Neanderthal. Right? So this is that time. This is what Marduk was doing when he was going land to land. Okay? Of his supremacy to the people he was telling. Followers to gain was his purpose. In the lands of the upper sea, see, he was all about gaining followers. The more followers he got, the more power. Okay? So it ain't, like I want y'all to know, this story was never about the Anunnaki being partial to black people over everybody else. You know what I'm saying? What I want y'all to know. They're not partial to us. They didn't give a fuck. They just wanted a workforce and an army. Whoever do it, it don't matter what color you is. Whoever gonna be in their workforce, whoever gonna be in their army. All right? In the lands of the upper sea, in the lands of Kyungi bordering, Nabu, Marduk's son, was inciting people. To seize the fourth region was his plan. Between the dwellers of the west and the dwellers of the east, clashes were occurring. Kings, host of warriors formed. Caravans ceased going. The walls of cities were raised. They talk about this is the time now of war. What Galzu had foretold indeed is happening. Okay? So at this period, these clans are starting to fight each other more and more. War is breaking out amongst the humans more and more. This is all due to the Anunnaki. Okay? Upon Terah and his sons of worthy lineage descended, Enlil set his gaze. Now let me say that again, because you need to understand that. Upon Terah and his sons of worthy lineage descended, Enlil set his gaze. What that means is he took a special liking to Terah and his sons. He said, I like Terah. I like his family. You know what? I want Terah to represent my people. Terah is going to be he's going to be the foundation of my chosen people. All right, follow me now. I told you. You got to follow me on this. Remember I told y'all that the Anunnaki see themselves as master shepherds? And you've heard them reference themselves like that many times. They see themselves as master shepherds and the humans as their flock. Put a 1 in the chat if you understand that. And the animals that they bought here, the animals that they brought here that represents the flock are called ewes. We call them sheep. We call them lambs. We call them sheep. But the correct name is an ewe. E-W-E. Ewe. They were the lamb. They're the lamb in Christianity. And in Hebrew, there's the ewe. That's why that animal is symbolic religiously. That's why that animal is symbolic. Now you understand that. Come on, think about that. Do that make sense to you? To why the Bible talks about the lamb? Now, when I told y'all, okay, the Anunnaki bought this animal to earth to be sustenance. When they didn't have other sustenance outside of the fruits and the vegetables. So this animal became symbolic because it saved them. It saved them from hunger. So ain't you gonna honor? That's gonna always be something that you look at in a symbolic way. You're gonna always remember. Okay, so this is why the lamb is symbolic in religion, or the sheep. So this was called the ewe. The flock was a flock of ewes. The Anunnaki was the master shepherd. And we were their ewes. Then 1524 came along and the letter J was invented. The motherfuckers started using the letter J a lot, and U's became Jews. I'm just saying. Huh? I'm just saying, do it make sense? Do it make sense? U's became Jews. So that's where you get, wasn't no Jews back then, gang. They wasn't called Jews back then, gang. There was no letter J. You can't get around that. So what were they called? What were they called? They were called U's. And Terah, who is the father of Abraham, who was a high priest. Remember I taught y'all about the high priest system? Remember I told you the Anunnaki created this system as a go-between to have somebody to represent their interests amongst the humans? They taught the high priest all the religious rites. Okay? Terah was a high priest. He was chosen to represent Enlil's chosen people. All right, let's move on. Come on now. Upon Terah and his sons of worthy lineage descended, Enlil set his gaze. This is the man to choose. By Galzu indicated, Enlil to himself said. See, Galzu told him to do the same thing that he told Enki to do during the deluge. He told Enki to go, well, he didn't tell him pick a righteous man. He told him to get his son, Sutra. Okay? But he told Enlil, he said, like I told Enki, he told Enlil pick a righteous man. Okay? Because you're going to need, because what y'all don't realize is, after the Pyramid War 3, everything was done. Okay, wrap your mind around this. Let me pull up a picture of Egypt right quick. Hold on, let me show y'all something. Okay, so every time we look at Egypt, we see this sandy brown landscape, right? And we think, we just take that for granted. We think, hey, that's Egypt. That's how it look. Guys, this ain't how it always look. This ain't how it always look. This motherfucker used to be lush. This motherfucker used to be green. It used to be lush, green, tropical, beautiful. Something happened. Something happened. Hold on. Let's talk. Y'all, you know, they call this land the Fertile Crescent. Y'all see it's in green? Y'all know why it's in green, right? Because this was all green. This was all beauty. This was beautiful. This was all tropical, green, lush. It ain't that no more today. You never asked yourself what happened. Because it ain't till somebody point this shit out to you that you be like, damn, something did happen. Something must have happened to create this area not being lush, green, and tropical anymore. The Third Pyramid War is what happened. It turned this area, it turned this whole area into a fucking waste, into a desert. That's what it did. Oh, y'all didn't know that they had to dig the pyramids and the Sphinx out? So something took place over there. Now you know. Now you know what happened. A nuclear war laid waste to the motherfucking area. All right? To Nanar, without revealing the dream vision, Enlil to his son thus said, in the land between the rivers whence Arbakad had come, a city like Urim established. A home abode away from Urim, let it be for Ningal and you. In its midst, a temple shrine established. The priest Prince Terah in charge thereof appoint. By his father's word abiding, Nanar in the land of Arbak, the city of Haran established. Okay, if you are well versed in the Bible, you know they talk about the city of Haran a lot in the Bible. Okay, in the Old Testament. to be high priest in its temple, and to be high priest in its temple shrine, Terah he sent, his family with him. When 2 celestial portions out of the prophesied 3 were completed, did Terah go to Haran. At that time, Namu, the joy of Urim in the western lands, from his chariot fell and died. King Namu. On the throne of Urim, his son Shulgi succeeded him. Full of vow and eager for battles, Shulgi was. In Nebuki, a high priest himself, he appointed. In Anugi, at the joys of Inanna's vulva, he sought. Oh, this boy Shulgi wants some of that Inanna meat. Warriors from the mountain lands to Nanar, not beholding in his army, he enlisted. Remember when I told y'all that the Arabs came down out the mountains? Remember I told y'all that they came from the mountain, that they are the Caucasus people, they're the Caucasus Mountains people, not the white boy. Y'all think it's the white boy, but that's not the story. It's the Arabs, the hairy, woolly Arabs. They just told you just then. Listen to that. Warriors from the mountain lands to Nanar, not beholding in his army, he enlisted. Okay? Islam, dominated by Arabs. Allah, he had an army full of Arabs. With their help, the western lands he overran. The sanctity of mission control center he ignored. In the sacred 4th region his foot he set. King of the 4 regions he declared himself. About the defilements, Enlil was angered. About the invadings, Enki to Enlil spoke. The rulers of all your regions have exceeded their bounds, Enki to Enlil bitterly said. Of all the troubles, Marduk is the fountainhead, Enlil to Enki. So now we got Enki and Enlil fighting each other right now. They basically, Enki is telling Enlil, hey man, your people are overstepping their bounds. They starting to come over into our land. And then Enki and Enlil is saying, well, Marduk is the reason for that. Marduk started this shit. So we gonna finish, okay? So that's where Enlil is coming from. Still, the dream vision to himself he was keeping. Enlil to Terah, his attention turned. Upon Ebru, okay, hold on. I got to read this right. Enlil to Terah, his attention turned. Upon Ebram, the eldest son of Terah, Enlil cast the chosen gaze. They say upon Ebram, Terah's eldest son, Enlil set his chosen gaze. Who is this eldest son? Ebram? Who is this Ebram? Who is this Ebram? Names are important. But you know, people change names and shit. People change names to suit their needs. So in the Bible, they told you that his name was Abraham. But his real name was Ebram. Now, after there was a particular battle that he won, because if you don't know, Abraham was an ass-kicking warrior. Yeah, Abraham wasn't some, I know, motherfucker. You listen to Pastor. Pastor got you thinking these people were some old folks walking around in robes in the desert. Pastor got y'all thinking that these folks was just some old elderly people walking through the desert. Hell nah. Abraham was an ass-kicking warrior. This is why the Hebrew Israelites wear that warrior's garb. Go look at how Hebrew Israelites dress. They wear a warrior's garb. That whole getup they got on. They don't even realize that. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But yeah, their leader was a warrior. And he became Ibrahim. Him is is in connection to Elohim, like God. He became like God after, I can't remember what battle it was. I'll give y'all that information on Monday. But after it was some great battle that he won, that's when he became Ibrahim, like God. Okay? A princely offspring. Oh, for people that don't get this, Abraham of the Bible. That's who his oldest son was, Abram. Okay? Battlefield Chaldeans, that sound right. That sound about right. Yeah. I swear to God, that sound right. Thank you, my brother. That sound right. That's exactly what it is. Shout out to the goddamn Mod Squad God in the building, man. Y'all give it up to the Mod Squad God, because I'm looking at it right here. Yeah, give it up to the Mod Squad God, man. That's why I need my folks, man. I need my folks to back me up. Yeah. Shout out to the Mod Squad God. Let's get it. All right. A princely offspring, valiant and with priestly secrets acquainted Abram was. To protect the sacred places, listen, told you he's a warrior, listen. To protect the sacred places, the chariots' ascent and descents enable Enlil commanded Abram to go. Now, do you think Enlil would have commanded Abram to go and protect these valuable places if he wasn't a fighter, if he wasn't a warrior? If he was an old ass man in a robe walking through the desert, you think Enlil would have chose? Hell no. Enlil chose him because he was a warrior. He's a fighter. No sooner did Abram from Haran depart that in that city Marduk arrived. Okay, so when Abram left Haran, right after that Marduk arrived in Haran. The defilements he too had observed as birth pains of a new world order, he deemed them. From Haran on the threshold of Sumer, his final thrust he planned. From Haran at the edge of Ishkar's domain situated, the raising of armies he directed. When 24 earth years of his sojourn in Haran had passed, Marduk to the other gods of whomever descended made a tearful appeal, confessing his transgressions but insisting on his lordship. To them he thus said, O gods of Haran, O great gods who judge, learn my secrets. As I girdle my belt, my memories I remember. I am divine Marduk, a great god in my domains, as Ra I am known. For my sins to exile I went. To the mountains have I gone. In many lands I wandered. Hold on, that's another thing I want y'all to notice. Listen to this terminology. For my sins in exile. So the sin is just a transgression against the authority. Okay, so even that term sin ain't got nothing to do with a spiritual sense. Like a lot of this stuff we say, oh man, it's God, it's God, it's God. Man, I'm telling y'all, the system of God is not the system of religion. Okay? It's two separate systems. Now, there's some good things about religion. Religion is about, I told y'all, it's about the rules and regulations to live in a civilized society. So religion is a good thing. It's good to say you're going to respect your neighbor and you ain't going to covet other people. And all of these things are good. But people need to understand that the religious institution, when you got men claiming to have some knowledge of God that they don't, and then they're selling this idea to people, that's when it become a problem. Okay? So I always tell people that church is good if it's ran the right way. It can be a good thing because you still want people to have civility. Okay? And that's what the Anunnaki established amongst humanity. Civility. Okay? They brought civility to humanity. This is Marduk making a plea to the other Anunnaki gods, okay? I am divine Marduk, a great god. In my domains as Ra I am known. For my sins to exile I went. To the mountains I have gone. In many lands I wandered. From where the sun rises to where the sun sets. Sun rises in the west, sets in the east. Man, telling you he was in the west. We in the west, gang. From where the sun rises to where the sun sets, I went to the land of Ishkur. The land of Ishkur is South America. The land of Ishkur is South America. I went to the land of Ishkur. I went to the land of Ishkur I came. Where the land of Ishkur is South End North America. 24 years in the midst of Haran I nested. And Omen in its temple I sought. Until when about my lordship and Omen in the temple I asked. Your days of exile are completed. To me, the oracle in the, your days of exile are completed. To me, the oracle in the temple said, O great gods who the fates determine, let me to my city set my course. My temple, Isagil, an everlasting abode established. A king in Babylon installed. In my temple house, let all the Anunnaki gods assemble and accept my covenant. That damn Marduk got some nerve. Marduk told everybody, gather around. Bring all the Anunnaki gods out. Gang, it's time for y'all to accept that I am the #1 ruler, that I'm going to be the #1 ruler. Okay? So this is basically what he's trying to prepare everybody for. He's basically pleading with them not to challenge him. Okay? He's pleading with them. He's kind of basically saying, guys, let me have my time without rejection. Okay? I don't want to go through no wars. I don't want to fight no more. Y'all just respect my rulership. Okay? But don't nobody like Marduk. Marduk is a troublemaker. It's a reason why don't nobody like him. Okay? So we're going to stop right there for the day. And we're going to get ready to break for this weekend. It's been an incredible class. Very fun. Y'all made it very fun today. Can't wait to see how many points we gained and where we at in the standings. But big shout out to the family for supporting this, man. Like I say, we coming to an end in the Anunnaki information. But like I said, the teachings don't stop. We got a lot of stuff to teach, a lot of stuff to get to. But you getting a lot of stuff to unfold in this last couple weeks of class, guys. Okay, so right now, you're getting to meet the chosen people. You're getting to see how these chosen people come to be. And this is important because black folks is walking around talking about we the chosen people. Black folks think that means chosen by the creator of the universe. Let's stop right here and understand. Do y'all understand that there's a big difference between being chosen by the creator of the universe and chosen by Enlil? It's a big difference. Big difference. Okay? So like, yeah, man, we can't keep living on these ideologies because they not adding up. The math ain't math. We can't be talking about we the chosen people and then God letting us go through slavery, letting us go through all this shit, letting these white folks stand on us. We ain't that chosen. We ain't that chosen. Now with me understanding Enlil, now it's like, all right, cool. Now it makes sense. That ain't nobody came to the rescue. Because ain't nobody coming. Ain't nobody coming, black people. Ain't nobody coming to save you. You got to save yourself. The creator of the universe decided for you to save yourself. The same way the creator of the universe designed it for that mama bird to push that baby bird out the nest on its neck. Mama bird pushed that baby bird right out the nest on its neck. You know why? Because I got to get you to grow up. I got to get you to fight. I got to get you to survive. You got to be able to survive by yourself. So I need to push you. God created this system for us to learn to do it for ourselves. That's what y'all need to understand. These other people, they done did it for themselves. We still asking folks to help us, still asking folks to be fair to us. Now, hopefully, this information will help some folks understand that we got to get up off our ass and do something. Ain't nobody coming to save us. Slavery is when people needed to be saved. Do y'all agree with that? We good now, shit, but them folks in slavery, they needed to be saved. They could have used it then. And they was faithful in prayer and everything. Okay? So, you know, at the end of the day, you get to see this story, the true, authentic cut of this story. Okay? And like I told you, T-Ra was recognized and chosen to be the representation of Enlil's lineage upon this earth. And Abraham was the firstborn son of T-Ra. Okay? And so that's why we know Abraham in the way we know him, all right? But we're going to get into some more of this stuff. We're going to get into more of some adventures of Abraham when we come back, okay? Because I told y'all Abraham was a warrior. We're going to get into some adventures of Abraham and Lot, right? Y'all know about Lot from the Bible, right? That's his nephew, all right? So we're going to get into the adventures of Abraham and Lot. I'm going to tell y'all what else you finna learn. What really happened with Sodom and Gomorrah. Right? I know what the Bible taught you. The Bible taught you Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed because they was being fruity. Fuck nah. That's just like telling you that humanity developed intelligence because it ate an apple. The Sodom and Gomorrah story is the same child level information that you get in when you get in the Adam and Eve story. You finna get the real Sodom and Gomorrah story, and it's gonna make perfect sense. All right? So if y'all want to get this information, if y'all want to understand these biblical stories, and, you know, it's a lot coming up. I know I keep saying we coming to the end, but I'm telling you right now, we're going to be bombarded. And you got to remember, at the end of the course, I'm going to do the story of Yeshua. I'm going to do the story of Yeshua as well, okay? So it's a lot coming up, a lot to be looking forward to. Pyramid War 3, the Battle of Sodom and Gomorrah, these chosen people, the story of Abraham and Lot. All of this is information we're going to be covering over these next couple weeks. All right, gang? Big shout out to the family, man. Love y'all for everything. If you got any questions, feel free. Chief got some time. I'm chilling this Friday, baby. I ain't got to be in no hurry in the morning. All right? Feel free. If you got any questions, if I see the question, I'm going to answer it, guys. If I don't see it, because I don't, man, let me tell y'all, for the last time, I have no control over TikTok's technology. I don't know why they don't show certain questions. I swear I don't. Okay? Shout out to J2. Much love, J2. One of our family members told me that they was having some trouble, that they felt like when they tried to speak to the class, didn't nobody see their comments. And like I say, man, I don't have no control over the TikTok app itself. You know, I do the best I can using it, but I don't have no control over it, okay? So if you got a question, feel free. I'll try to expound. If the question is very important, you can always message it to me.